Hello, and welcome to this webinar. I'm very much looking forward to going through with you the important subject of how to prepare high quality ISA 700 compliant audit reports. My name is Wayne Bartlett, and I'll be your host for the next hour or so. And I'm very much looking forward to this. Before we get into the detail of the webinar, it would be good perhaps just to go through some of the basics here. So we're going to go through to start off with the aim of this webinar in a second. The materials available include obviously the slides, which hopefully you have access to. But also it's very important, I think, to have sight of ISA 700 itself. One of the good things about the IAASB is that it makes its publications very easily available, and I'm sure many of you will be familiar with it already. But if not, it's worth bearing in mind you can get access to the materials very easily, and I would urge you to do so, and not just to look at the standard itself, but also to look at the application guidance that goes with it. This tends to give you some very useful, informative, additional information. It enables you to get inside the minds of the standard setters, and that, in my experience, can be very useful. Obviously, if you have any questions which aren't answered as a result of this webinar, it would be great to actually have follow-up discussions on any points which you feel need further discussion. We begin perhaps with just a brief introduction about who I am. It's likely perhaps that you may not have seen me before, but my name is Dr. Wayne Bartlett. I'm a member of the ACCA, a fellow of the ACCA. I qualified over 30 years ago now. And since my qualification in 1992, I've worked pretty extensively in both accounting and auditing. So I've seen life, if you like, from both sides of the fence. I'm very familiar with accounting. I spend a lot of my time lecturing and practical training and implementation advice on financial reporting standards, which obviously are very relevant to the subject we're talking about today. I've also worked quite a lot in auditing, both in the private and the public sectors. And in recent years, perhaps maybe the last 15 years or so, I've worked pretty extensively with major international organizations such as the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank. And I've currently worked in about 45 countries in pretty much every continent across the globe. So I have a fair bit of experience in this subject, and it would be great to share with you some of my own experiences, as well as going through some of the practical elements of ISA 700.